Hello, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the Blackboard site and how it works in case you're not all that familiar with using Blackboard sites. When you first log in, you'll see this screen. It goes straight onto the page which is called All About the Course, Who, When, Why, What and How. In here there's some bits of introductory and background information, introduction to the course, who we are, who's facilitating it, what's expected, a bit of information about the activities in the personal project, and the course overview. Back over on the left in this menu, you'll then see Before You Start section. Now these are just some things which we think are important to do before the course actually starts. So the first one is about agreeing kind of a code of conduct, I suppose. Second task is to introduce yourself, and then there's a third task which you've already been emailed about. The next section is a collection of things that we think will be useful to you. There's a resources section which will contain there's a rough folder structure in there. It should be fairly self-explanatory. The next two things over on the left are the Park It wall and the There's No Stupid Questions wall. Now I'm using these as tools. The first one is basically if there's something which comes up which is so much of a barrier, and it's getting in the way of us thinking more constructively about our digital lives and our confidence, we'll park it there. We're going to make an assessment of whether or not there's anything that we can do about it. It's actually a link to a Padlet, and I'll give you a bit more instructions next week about how that's going to use. If you know how to use it already, feel free, go ahead. The There's No Stupid Questions board is kind of similar. That's also a Padlet, and it's already been populated with a bunch of questions from activities that we've done before. So do go in and have a look at that, and you can add your own questions. And this is called digital amnesty, but I kind of think the sort of acknowledging that we all have questions that we are perhaps a little bit embarrassed to ask because we think we should know them. This is the place to do it, because I really don't think there are any stupid questions. Then in the useful things, there's a direct link to the discussion board. There'll be links to that throughout each of the weeks, but if you want to just get there straight away, you can get there to the top level and you'll see it all laid out for you. There's also a link to your private blog. Now each of you will have your own blogging tool which no one else can see except for the leaders on the course. So that will be myself, Helen and Claire. You're not expected to share anything. That is really a place for your own sort of private sort of thought processes. Reflection is a big part of this course, particularly in the first couple of weeks. So we encourage you to use that, and some of the activities direct you towards it. I've also added Helen's shared blog, because while you can't see each other's blogs, I kind of think it's useful for you to see what somebody else's thinking is. So I have included this. You will be able to access that from this link, and you can see some of the darker inner workings of my mind, which might reassure you or not, I don't know. There's also a link to Blackboard Help, which is essentially the student version of Blackboard Help. Very quickly, go back in, and then there's the course. So each week we'll release more information as it comes. The first week I'm starting to set that out. There's still a bit more work to be done, but in here you will see you'll get an idea of expectations of what we're going to be covering, what kind of things we'll be doing, and each task will be set out for you. Okay, so that's a quick overview. If you've got any questions, use the discussion board or drop one of us an email. Okay, thank you. Bye.